Okay guys, here's an assembly and disassembly of the KWA M9 PTP. Now this one gave me a lot of difficulty myself, and looking on YouTube I didn't find any good quality disassembly or assembly videos in any combination that helped me specifically with the problems I was having. So I'm going to go ahead and make my own video now that I've taken this apart, maybe 20 or 30 times and put it back together. So hopefully it all works for me right now, so that I can capture it on video and hopefully help you guys out. So first of all, make sure that the chamber is empty, make sure that the mag is out. Don't want propane, don't get shot in the face with it, that same old simple stuff. Anyway, so now all you have to do is I'm going to be zooming in and out here. Hopefully it'll help a little bit. You can see that this button right here, you depress it, and on this side it will lift up this little peg right here, and then you slide this down. Now this should stay in this position through the whole time it's disassembled and then reassembled. The last thing that you're going to relatch is this part right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back and set this down, zoom back out, and hopefully this will work out. So that's how I get this down here. You can see it pushes the pin out just a slight bit in the front. This is where the return spring is, so that's what that is there. All you do is slide the top apart, put your hand right here, so that the spring, when it comes off, doesn't shoot off, because this spring right here is under tension. You can see the gap between the end of the spring and the end of the guide. You can see it's got quite a bit of give. It shot off the first couple times I did that. It didn't really hurt anything, but I don't like, if you're outside, you don't want this dropping in the dirt. So there's that. And if you just grab this part and slide forward, then back out just like any other gun, now you have the top rail, the bottom assembly, barrel, spring guide, all that. So this is basically where you need to get if you want to do basic upkeep on it, clean out dirt, clear jams, whatever. If you want to get more into this part of it, I'm not going to go into that, but there's more springs and tensioners and all that I really don't like taking apart, and I'm not going to on this video. This is just the position that I want to get you guys to, so you can clean, fix the spring, clear jams, change the hop up manually if you can't get your fingers in there the way it's supposed to be. And then my issue was that somebody was supposed to be oiling my gun for me. I had never taken it apart before, and we were on the field, so they said, oh, here you go, take it apart. Got it apart, no problem, couldn't get it back together, so I was without a pistol for the rest of the op. So hopefully if you learn now, then you won't have to learn the hard way. Actually, I didn't. I actually learned for another 3 months, so let's stop talking about me and put this thing back together. So you can see that if you push this back in the barrel here, you'll have to kind of drop it in there. I like doing this upside down so that you can see all this. So you can see how it just kind of sits in right here. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. This depresses here. And the part that we're going to focus on right now, where this back part of the spring right here sits, is, let's see if I can get to it. It is right here. This little peg at the very base of it is where that spring's going to sit, and that was the hard part that I wasn't getting the right information on in other videos. It was a little bit too hard to see, so hopefully that helps you out there. Now another cool thing here, this isn't really regarding that part, but actually no, wrong part. The safety, you can see there's this tiny little pin right here. You'll watch it, see it moves down and moves up. That's the only safety mechanism right there, so it's tiny, and that makes me worry about breaking it off if I try to load the gun while it's in safe mode. But anyway, that's just how that works. Kind of unnecessary, but I wanted to do it while I had it apart anyway. Now what you're going to have to do is, I like using two hands for this, pull the spring back, pinch the end of it so that the spring is pulled back to about here, and then the end has no spring on it. So then you take this whole setup and then you put it back through the front hole there so that the spring is depressed, and now you can see, how much tension it's under. So that's why I use two hands here. Put that up through the front, and then set it down on that notch right here that I just showed you. So it should not fall off right there. If you bump it, it will come off, but the idea is that it won't. So I put my thumb right here at the very end. This is the part that I had trouble with. I put my thumb here when I'm putting it back together. Now you can pull this back or have it forward however you like, and I like doing this part sideways or upside down here. But then you just slide that forward all the way up to where it's touching your thumb, and then your finger is depressed on that so that the spring guide doesn't come unlodged from that tiny little shelf right there. So then as soon as I get it that far, I'll just kind of guide it, push it back all the way here, and then you should be able to rotate this pin. You hear that click right there. It flips back up over and let go, and there you go. Your gun's back together just the way you had it. Now I'm going to take this apart real quick again in case you, so you get all this down. In case this piece right here, try this again. This piece right here, you know how I said leave it here? Well, if you happen to rotate it the other way, and you continue rotating it, be careful because it'll come out, which is great, but on this back side, this button that I told you to push right here, you can see that there is a spring that it will actually shoot that piece out, and if you're not careful, then you've kind of lost the whole reassembly of the gun. So all you do is you drop that into that hole right there, you take the button, and the spring is just so that the button actually has some return on it. So then you depress that all the way, drop this pin back in here, and then there you go, you're back in business, and then there's that click right there, and that's where you want the gun to be. So hopefully that helped you out. If you have any more questions, I'll have this gun for a little while, and if not, then I'll just try to answer the best I can. So hopefully this helped, and thank you for watching. If you have comments, post below.